In this lesson, we'll be looking at some chord progressions using the chords G, C, and E minor. Now, the G and the E minor use the same notes when we try to phrase from it. We can use that pentatonic pattern that we've learned over each of those chords. Now, we can also use it over C. When we're playing C, as long as you keep that chord shape, you can add notes from that G pentatonic. Because remember, the notes are quite similar and interchangeable even. So basically what I'm going to show you in all figure 1, figure 2, and figure 3, these 3 different chord progressions, I'm going to play them for you, and then I'm going to show you how I would maybe phrase using the pentatonic scale. And again, they're so interchangeable, the notes with each of the chords, that it's hard to go wrong as long as you stay on that set pattern. And we're not sitting here trying to play lead with our rhythm. What we're doing is we're just adding flavor to our chords, basically, in our rhythm part. And, you know, instead of just strumming the chords, instead of doing that, we're adding flavor to it. So let's look at figure 1, what I was just playing there. It's G chord, C chord, E minor, back to C, and then we would loop the progression over at that point. Basically, that would be like, you know, a verse part, say, to a song. And this will give you an idea of, you know, I'm not going to show you exactly note for note what I'm playing, because again, I'm just working off of that familiar scale pattern. And the only other notes we'll be using really are those C notes when I go to the C chord, which would be on the 1st fret of the B and the 3rd fret of the A. So let's start with figure 1, and I'll play a little for you to give you kind of an idea. So I would suggest you take that 4-chord progression and see what you can do with it. You know, adding notes from that pentatonic. Here's another example in figure 2: G with the D/F sharp. If you remember, that's our connector chord that connects us to the relative minor, which is the E minor. So this is basically the same chord progression, except for the C in the 2nd measure we're going to replace with the D/F sharp. So here's what I would maybe do with it if I was playing this in a song. And if you notice in both these figures, what I played is basically in the key of G. We started on G and ended on G. Not only that, we're also using G's relative minor, the E minor. So that's another giveaway that it's a song in the key of G. All right, figure 3 is another one. Just another suggested chord progression. I'll just strum through it first. So you don't have to really do a lot to add flavor to basic chord progressions like that. And you know, for any song, usually there is an underlying basic chord progression, something like that. And you can kind of improvise your own little feels and, you know, add notes and change your chords up a little bit. And you don't always have to know exactly what you're playing. You know, I added a suspended fourth in there at one point, a couple points actually. I'm just adding that first fret there of the B string, which is our C note, and we've previously discussed how that C, those notes from that C is going to fit in right with the G anyways. So it's hard to go wrong as long as you stay with that shape. So I invite you to play with these 3 chord progressions and maybe see what you can do with them. You know, instead of just strumming them. Strumming is, you know, gets boring quickly. And, you know, it's not as expressive as when we add our own little phrases to it. So good luck with that, and we'll see you in the next lesson.